Good morning. Welcome to the Church of the Angels. We are an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly. All who enter here are valued for their unique qualities. We gather in safe community to worship as equals in an exchange of energy through love, thought, and communication. Thank you for cooperating as we learn how to best move forward in the service. And I'll just say good luck with me today. My name is Joie, Reverend Joie, and I'm your facilitator today. Service is also being recorded on Zoom today, so we will have participants online as well as here today. The recording will stop Zooming before messages are given in respect to the sacredness of the work of Spirit. In the true spiritualist tradition, our service celebrates all four aspects of meeting. The first is uniting of our vibrations through music, prayer, and quiet reflection. The second offers spiritual healing. The third embraces inspiration and thought exchange. And finally, we communicate the messages from Spirit. We will be together here for about an hour and appreciate your help in a few logistics. Masks or face shields are to be worn over the mouth and nose throughout the entire service. Well, we already let that go haywire. Please practice social distancing and try to stay in your seat unless getting up for distance healing. There will be no fellowship time. Wipes and hand sanitizers are available. The Church of the Angels tries to be as inclusive as possible and invites those of opinions and backgrounds to join us for our service. All speakers are prompted to leave politics and any political charged topics outside our gatherings. This is true to promote spiritual unity. We know that our true selves are always united in love. I want to mention that if you wish to make a donation, you can do so through the Church of the Angels website, and you will also have the opportunity to make a donation, a reoccurring one, if you should choose so. There's a separate donation page on the website, and on that page, you will be able to choose where and what your donation is for. Here in our church space, we will not be passing the baskets for safety. They are located throughout the room. Thank you for those who have donated and help us stay strong throughout this past year. And I know one is there, and I think another one is in the back somewhere. I don't know, I don't see it, but okay, being short, I can't see it. So anyways, please rise and silently join in with our first hymn, then remain standing for the opening prayer.
You are God in heaven, and here am I on earth. So I'll let my words be with you, my God. So in love with you. Yes, I'll stay in awe of you. And I'll let my words be with you. My God, I am so in love with you. The simplest of all love songs I want to bring to you. So let my words be with you. My God, I am so in love with you. And I'll stay in awe of you. stand in awe of you. And I'll let my words be true. My God, I am so in love with you.
Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on those who have joined here today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken, the song sung, and by the message and healing brought forth here today, so that we might lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives. We are grateful to know you are with us always. Lakota prayer. Wonka Tonka, great mystery. Teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the sense of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear and walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. Thank you. Please be seated. This is a sacred assembly. To avoid interruptions and maintain the sacred nature of service, all phones and or recording devices are to be turned off throughout the entire service. We will record on the podium area so that we can share the service with others online. The Statement of Principles. As I read our Statement of Principles, if you would like a copy, you can find it on our website. There was one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in harmony with one creative force, the great power of God, to which all life is a part. Reality as one chooses and perceives and will change as one grows in the knowledge of the inner self and one relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, and acceptance and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone. Now we will have a few moments of quiet meditation so that we may concentrate on going within to find peace and calm and healing for ourselves and the world. Take your time and come back to the present. Please remember that you are always connected to each other and the divine. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and all those around you in communities and throughout the world in whatever way you can. And please add silently or aloud the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Thank you. Now is the time for inspiration and thought exchange, brought to us today by our speaker, Carol Miller. We invite everyone to address our assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, and passionate ideas. Every opinion expressed here is strictly that of the person who gives us. Let us consciously and lovingly agree to disagree if that does not resonate with us. The topic today is natural law. It is my pleasure to present Carol Miller as our speaker today. And I have to say, I'm going to let Carol introduce herself a little because I forgot to pull your bio.
Oh,
So, well, maybe for the people online that don't, on Zooming, okay? Thank you, Carol.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Can you hear me? I can see. What's that? Well, how's that? Is that better? Much better. Okay. Yeah, I'm Carol Miller. I'm a member here. Growing in spirituality. Happy to be a member here at Church of the Angels, and it's my pleasure to speak today. And I want to say that when I volunteered to speak today and said I would speak on natural law, it was not that I felt, oh, I know about natural law and I'll teach us all about it. No, the opposite. I thought that I really don't understand the natural law concept. And maybe if I explored as I planned for the talk, I'll learn about it and better understand it. So that's what we're doing today. Natural law is one of the cornerstones on which the religion of spiritualism was built. We have to remember the times in which this occurred. It was in the early 1900s. Spiritualism considered itself modern compared to the other religions and beliefs. It was a time of fire and brimstone religious revivalism in which God would smite the wicked, and you might be the wicked. Here is how spiritualism is described on the website of the Natural Spiritualist Association of Churches. That's the largest association of spiritualist churches in the United States. But we here at Church of the Angels are not part of that association. As Joie just said, we're an independent spiritualist church. That's okay. Spiritualists are free thinkers. Even in Little Lilydale, there are 3 spiritualist churches, and I think only one is a member of the Association of National Spiritualist Churches. As I said, spiritualists are free thinkers. In fact, that's one of the terms used for spiritualists, for people with different ideas. And as we said, we share our ideas, but everyone accepts what resonates with them. So here's a description of spiritualism from the website back in 1850. This is great. Spiritualism back then considered itself very scientific. Spiritualism is a provable religion of naturalness based upon physical and spiritual manifestations of the great universal, immutable, eternal law governing both finite and infinite expression found in the mortal and immortal world. Note, governing finite and infinite expressions found in mortal and immortal. Natural law applies to the immortal world as well as the mortal world. What this says to me is that what we do with the help of the spirit world is natural. Healing with the help of the spirit world is natural. And our communication with the immortal world, those in spirit, is natural. So where does that leave us? There are consequences that follow our actions. These are not the hand of God throwing fire and brimstone. They are natural consequences of our action. And so you don't think I'm going to stick us back in the 19th century. I'm going to fast forward us back just to May 23rd, 2021, less than a month ago. And we'll go to the reality TV show, American Idol. This year's winner is Chase Beckham. He just turned 24. His first release single, 23, that's the title of the song, hit #1 on iTunes country chart. His lyrics tell of the process of natural law, I think. I was going to play it or have asked Anthony to play it, but we both decided, no, just a little too rough around the edges for church, but I will talk about it. The lyrics tell about his troubled teen years and learning to drink from his uncle. Then he joined a band and drinks were free. He became a very big drinker. And yes, he was in a terrible car crash at 23 after drinking. He showed the crashed up car on the TV show. And the last line of his chorus of his song is, when you're passed out on the floor, you're sober at 24. One thing after another led to his drinking. That was natural law. He was not a bad person, and God did not get him for being a bad person. No, he fell in the drinking, drank too much, got in the car crash because of it, and finally it scared him and he stopped drinking. Now, Katy Perry, one of the judges on American Idol, in my opinion, her comment was not as reflective of natural law. Not that it's a bad statement, it speaks of God. And I really like Katy Perry, Katy Perry, who wrote Firework, and that we'll all be hearing in a couple weeks on 4th of July. Plus, she's married to Orlando Bloom, who played Legolas in Lord of the Rings, the lead elf, and we spiritualists like elves and elementals. But this comment, and we all make these comments, I'll pick up on that, doesn't quite fit as well for natural law. Katie said to Chase, sometimes God has to turn up the volume on your life to see if you're listening. You're listening. Keep listening. Stay the guy from Apple Valley because your life is about to change. It's a nice comment. People like it. It feels good. I sort of like it. And if taken just figuratively, it's a little more on target. However, what about the people who, because of circumstances, have another natural law going on? I saw Chase when he got back home in Apple Valley, California, and he flapped on his bed at home, so happy to be home. And it was a nice room, and it was a nice bedroom, and it had a nice wooden headboard, nice furniture. And Chase said numerous times that his family, especially his mother, encouraged him to sing and go on American Idol. What about the person that doesn't have that extra support? Does that mean God doesn't love them as much as God did and didn't turn up the volume for them? No. For natural law, their natural law for them was different. And yes, spiritualists believe in personal responsibility. And yes, Chase took his personal responsibility and stopped drinking, but he had help and circumstances that other people might not have, and he walked away from drinking. I started to say, we all say things like this. Dale and I have to have some windows repaired. I heard myself say to Dale, whether we are blessed to live in this house another 20 years or have to leave in 3 or 5 or 4, the windows need to be repaired. I said, if we are blessed, what would that mean? We have God's favor. We all say it. We all think it. Natural law does not really believe in miracles. If we are ill and receive spiritual healing and recover, that is natural law, because natural law applies to both the earth plane and the spiritual plane. My belief is becoming more and more that when I think of the illnesses, I think of them all as injuries. We are all meant to be healthy and strong. And then I started thinking, but what about gratitude to God? If everything's natural law, I want to give gratitude to God, when good things happen. Like in the old hymn, thank God for all good gifts that come from heaven above. Thank the Lord. Yes, thank the Lord for all his love. In my thought on this, it's that giving thanks is always good. It opens up and fills the air with positivity and spreads the good gifts around. It is part of natural law. If we are thankful and happy and positive, we will be more generous and caring and loving to others, and good gifts grow and spread around. I think this is part of the law of creative reality, which is part of spiritualism. Put briefly, thoughts are things and our words are wands. We create our own reality. We reap what we sow. If we plant marigolds, we grow marigolds. If we plant radishes, we plant radishes. It's natural law. Now I want to visit a current issue that has both old roots and current actions. I'm talking about the observation of Juneteenth that's coming up this week. It's on June 19th. Slowly, the idea has taken hold. Juneteenth observes the end of slavery in the United States. I'm going to read from Wikipedia what they have to say, because again, I'm not an expert on this, so I'd like to give information according to at least according to Wikipedia. So here it is. Here's what they said. Juneteenth is a combination of June and June 19th, the two words. It is also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. It is a holiday celebrating the emancipation of those who had been enslaved in the United States. Originating in Galveston, Texas, it is now celebrated annually June 19th throughout the United States with increasing official recognition. It is commemorated on the anniversary date of June 19, 1885. Announcement of the General Order 3 by Union General Gordon Granger proclaiming freedom from slavery in Texas. President Lincoln's emancipation had officially outlawed slavery in Texas and other states almost 2.5 years early. Enforcement of the proclamation generally relied on the advance of Union troops. Texas was a way remote slave state, and it had a low presence of Union troops as the Civil War ended. And that must have been 1865, not 85. I had probably just typoed it. Sorry about that. I kept thinking, that doesn't seem right. 1865. Clear that up. Let's see. Let me get back here. So anyway, Texas was way out, far west. The Union troops got there very late after the Civil War. And although Juneteenth generally celebrates the end of slavery in the United States, it was still legal in practice in 2 Union border states, Delaware and Kentucky, until later that year when ratification of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution abolished chattel slavery nationwide in December. This is interesting. Additionally, Indian territories that had sided with the Confederacy, namely the Choctaw, did not release their enslaved until 1866. Yes, I just saw recently on the special Dreamland, which was produced by LeBron James on CNN, that some Native American tribes held slaves in an effort to appear civilized. When the slaves were freed in the native tribes, they assimilated and or married into the tribe. And by the way, the special Dreamland commemorated the massacre in a vibrant American community, African American community in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May 30th, 1921, 100 years ago. Okay, so where does natural law fit in? I think we have to look at the whole concept of slavery, which Juneteenth does. I have thought for a long time, before I ever heard of natural law, that we are all still paying the price for slavery. Black American, white American. we do not live in the peace, harmony, and equality we want, or I hope we want. It's natural law. Then when about 1/4 of our population is oppressed because of remnants of slavery, racist thinking, we all suffer. We have such a far way to go yet. It was a year ago, on May 25th, 2020, that George Floyd was murdered. We cannot be truly free and a thriving nation until we are all free and thriving. We as white Americans cannot totally understand what it's like to be a Black American, but that doesn't mean we can't give our love, support, and understand that it must be really hard. The golden rule is part of natural law. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Certainly, slavery is counter to that. And just one more current thought on natural law, climate change. You know, we're making a mess of climate of the planet, and we're going to have to live with this mess for a long time. My guides are saying, get ready for climate crisis, not just climate change. But you know, I had a concern about natural law that it might open up some thought about, well, what goes around comes around. If you're mean to me, well, then I'll be mean to you. Is that natural law? Of course not. That just perpetuates the problem. There is some thought to help with this, and it returns back to thoughts that thoughts are things and our words are wands. Louise May, a therapist and writer in the later 20th century, is sometimes used when trying to explain natural law. Not really familiar with her, which I was sort of surprised because it's sort of like counseling that she uses. The book is often used in natural law classes. The book I'm talking about is You Can Heal Your Life. That's my source. It was, surprised, published in 1984. All these centuries of blending. So it's not old, yet it's been around for a while. She has a surprising remedy. Louise May credits another earlier spiritualist writer, Emmett Fox, with this exercise, and she says it always works. He recommends that we sit quietly, close our eyes, and allow our mind and body to relax. Okay, now imagine yourself sitting in a darkened theater, and in front of you is a small stage. On that stage, place the person that you resent the most. It could be someone in the past or present, living or dead. When you see the person clearly, here's the surprise, visualize good things happening to this person. Things that would be meaningful to him or her. See him or her smiling and happy, and hold this image for a few minutes and then let it fade. Louise May says she likes to add another step, that as soon as the person leaves the stage, put yourself on the stage. See good things happening to you, see yourself happy and smiling. Be aware that the abundance of the universe is available to us all. When I did this practice, I didn't add the extra step, which I'm sure will help. But even the first step, it really helped. It's like the opposite of what you think. When you visualize someone that you have resentment for, angry, just good things for them and being happy. It lifts your heart. Of course, it would need to be done repeatedly to really make it stick. Louise May says to do it for different people for once a day for a month, and you will feel lighter. We check time. We might, yeah, do we have time to do it for a minute? A minute. We'll just do it for a minute. Okay. So close your eyes. I'll just use my Fitbit. It won't be a precise minute. I'll just kind of guesstimate. If anything, it'll be shorter. Just picture the person on a stage in front of you, and now picture really nice things happening to them and making them happy. Okay, why don't you picture that person walking off? We'll just take a few seconds, put yourself on the stage, same thing. Enjoy good things falling on you. This will be even shorter. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's surprising. You feel lighter in your heart. It's natural law. We reap what we sow. If we sow goodness and happiness, that is what we get. It's like the Native American tale of the two wolves. Two wolves come up to you in a dream. One is angry, mean, and growling. The other is kind and gentle. You only have enough food for one wolf. Which one do you feed? It's tempting to feed the angry one to appease it. But no, the one we feed grows. If we feed the gentle wolf, that is the one that grows, and the angry one fades away. You know, this also reminds me of when I was counseling with children, and often angry children. Some of the little boys would say, I need a punching bag. I need to let my anger out. There are no studies that show punching a punching bag lets anger out. Some of you know I'm a black belt, so I have access to punching bags. So I've tried this in the past. It was the opposite for me. The more I hit the bag, oh, that's no good. Every punch I got angrier. I'm much better off to do what Louise May says, just step back and not feed the anger, because we reap what we sow. We are much better off feeding the gentle wolf and wishing good things on those we resent. Funny, but it works. So one more revisit to Juneteenth as we wrap this up. Since it is true that what we feed grows, we need to be very careful not to feed racism and resentment. That will only make it grow. I bet if we did Louise May's practice to wish goodness and happiness on our African American brothers and sisters, our race issues would improve, just as other resentments improve eventually disappear. And maybe we can start this first by just observing Juneteenth. All of us celebrate the end of slavery in the United States and see only good and positive things coming to all of us. We reap what we sow. So let's sow and grow good things. Thank you. Any questions, comments? I don't know, probably get to people on Zoom. Jolie, how about you?
Here, I'll come this way.
Okay,
Jenny, any questions or comments?
I'm looking right now for raised hands. Anybody give me a reaction hand if you have something to say? No, not that I can see at the moment.
Okay, thank
Oh.
you.
And Lydia said in chat though that she is there at the church and the energy is wonderful. So thanks to Carol for her inspiring talk.
I just was gonna say, and I hope you can all hear me. I have a scratchy voice. I lost a son to drugs almost 20 years ago, and he was the apple of my eye, I will tell you. But in my family, many of my family, we were brought up Christian, but a lot of my family just turned their back on any kind of God, no God, no God. Because how could God allow this? My son used drugs. My son wanted that. He promised me he wouldn't. But he got in a situation, it got too much for him. And I don't think he on purpose did it that particular night. But he was a very unhappy young man. And my one sister said, how can you believe in God now? I said, well, I'm a little angry at God right now because I also do believe in miracles because I should have died several times in my youth. But Daniel did this. You know, Daniel did this. God's not going to all of a sudden come down and grab those crystals, you know. So I do believe in the law of, you know, if you step out your bedroom window upstairs, you're going to fall. I don't care what anyone says, how big your faith is. So that was just my thought about that, you know. We make our own choices.
I have a couple other comments from chat that I would like to share. Let's see, from Tanda, that was a wonderful talk. Thank you. From Reverend Carol Wood. Thank you, Carol, for your inspirational talk. Great points. And we all need to spread your message to all. David Miller, yes, that was a beautiful talk, both inspirational and helpful. Thank you, Carol. And from Patricia, great talk, Carol, very thoughtful, proud of you.
So that was so wonderful. And just, oh, right on. Just, I love the way you blended it all. And you know, the bit about what you focus on grows. And if I wish humanity would start dropping labels because labels separate. Because they're overgeneralized, inaccurate statements about people that cannot be accurate for every individual. And if we can just drop the labels, that would be a big help. And that's about challenging in today's world. But I love though, and I've been doing more of this myself, is picturing the person you don't like happy because they're if you perceive them unhappy or if they really are, there's a reason for that. And who's not going to argue? Nobody's going to argue feeling better feels better. And sometimes just all they need is some feel good to get that energy and momentum going. And when you do it for someone else, you do it for yourself. And I think that's just, I'm glad that you mentioned that exercise. That's another one. That was wonderful.
Just another word for the scientific part of it all. All of God's light is electromagnetic. Whatever you put out always comes back.
21st century natural law.
Carol, just for my first time here, that was beautiful.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, Carol.
thank you.
Now is the time for announcements. Okay. Next week, June 20th, church is on Zoom only. And I'm going to say it, Nasia Artis is the speaker, and I hope I said that right. June 27th is Zoom and live, okay? The next development circle is Monday, June 21st at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Please note the July 5th development circle is canceled. We are looking for someone in the congregation with some technical savvy that can help the church with Yelp and a few other online situations. Please email the church if you can help. And there's exclamation points because I guess this is really important. We need this person. Please check the website, newsletter, or Facebook for the newest information on our live service plans. To summarize, beginning in July, we are going live every Sunday. We will record and post the services, but no longer do Zoom each week. Once a month, the third Sunday we'll host an evening Zoom service. For complete details, check online. You can connect with the church through Facebook at the Church of the Angels of Cleveland. Please help promote our church and its events by reposting and sharing the church's Facebook posts. Does anyone have any announcements from the floor? Andrea.
So for a lot of you that know me, I've been doing this at a macro channelings once a month, usually the first Sunday of the month, and I would do them at church here. So that's changing now. I'm still doing them, but I'm not always doing them on the first Sunday of the month. But I will be doing them online. So if you want to be on my email list, let me know your email. I'll add you to the email list and then I'll send out every time I do another channeling. I'm still doing it once a month, but it's not on the same day.
Okay,
But
okay,
it's all online now.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy.
Fran.
I'm sorry. I was talking about her yesterday in her sleeve. That's why that came to mind.
I just wanted to let everybody know that I've taken on the duty of speakers for the live services, which we will be having from July on. So if anybody has a desire to speak, it can be about anything basically spiritual. I like to tell people that when you go somewhere, see what your spiritual reaction is. We'd all love to hear. Like if you go on a trip and you have a spiritual reaction to your location, that's even a great topic to tell people about, your spiritual reaction to where you were is something that everybody loves to hear because then they want to go there, So if anybody wants to let me know, all the speaking opportunities are open from July on. So if you would like to email me, it's Fran, F-R-A-N .Dittrich, D-I-T-T-R-I-C-H @gmail, and that's on the website. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you said that because on that note, I'm going to be in charge of the facilitators. So if you want to facilitate, I do have a list already. I can send out a little thing. And if you want to, and you've never been trained on this, I'm not sure what we're going to do about the training. So I guess I need to get a hold of Jenny and see if Cindy's going to still do it instead of me. I don't know, but we'll figure that out. But if you're at all interested, let me know. And I'm also in charge of the prayer group, the prayer team. So if you have prayers or you want to join the prayer team, let me know. And that's on the website as well, because it's, I love the prayer team. And I love when people get back to me and tell me the results of the prayers, because I share that with the whole team as well. So it's just, we've had some phenomenal things, and I think we should all be very proud of ourselves as a prayer team. And I thank everyone for all their time that they put into doing those prayers. Okay. Okay. Oh, you can join Church of the Angels on meetup.com to get a schedule of events, or visit the website, www.thechurchoftheangels, all one word, .net, or find us on Facebook. Membership forms can be requested via email if you are interested in becoming a member. Please fill out the form and return it to the church in the email. And it says Addie, so okay, I don't know what that means. Address, oh, okay, I like address better. I'm not good with these little short versions. Okay. The other thing is it doesn't cost anything to join the church. I'll throw that in there because it doesn't say that there. Okay. Now is the time for healing and messages. To usher in our time for truth and messages from Spirit, please rise and join in silently singing our next hymn. Oh, wait, before you start, recordings will now stop on Zoom to preserve the sacredness of those serving from Spirit. Oh, that'll come after. Oh, it says it now. Usually it's to rise us up to get Spirit moving.
Give me your word, give me your sign. Show me where to go, tell me what will I find? Will I find? Lay me on the ground, climb me in the sky. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find? Will I find? Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Love is in the water, love is in the air. Show me where to go, tell me will love be there? Will love be there? Teach me how to speak and teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me will love be there? Love be there. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Love is in the water, love is in the air. Show me where to go, tell me will love be there? Love be there. Teach me how to speak and teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me will love be there? Love be there. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. Heaven let shine down. I'm gonna let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine. Heaven gonna shine on me. Yeah. Come on and shine, 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 shine. Shine on me. Oh, don't you shine. Shine on me.